Alright guys, so here is an update on the Landau 1470 John boat. I have gotten all the decks pre-drilled and painted. So you can see I went through every spot where my aluminum framework is under there, which you can see in some of my previous video. You can kind of see it through the gap right there. The insulation and the 1-inch square aluminum tube that goes the whole length of the bottom floor section. So right there is the deck face. It's got speaker cut out. It's got a hole in the middle for the switch panel. And it also has a hole for the amplifier control, which has the Bluetooth receiver in it as well. So the front deck is all finished up. I've got the hinges cut, all the hatches I pre-drilled before painting. I also cut out the holes for the hatch pulls. They're gapped for the carpet that I'll be using. So I basically just laid up 2 pieces of the carpet in the gap, and then also where the hinges are going to account for that. So that's one thing to keep in mind when you're carpeting one of these boats. So here's the holes for where the trolling motor mount is going to be. Got the hole for the front light mount, and of course got to have a cup holder. Got the mounting holes and the access hole for the depth finder in there as well. So everything right now is painted. It's cured for just about a week, so pretty soon I'm going to start getting to putting the carpet on there. So I was going to quickly go over the amplifier that I picked up. It's a Kenwood KAC M1824 BT. I've seen a lot of people using these on motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides. Just give you an idea of the size of this thing. I mean, it's super small. This is the receiver that's going to go into, everything's going to be mounted to the backside. Give you an idea of what's the layout here. Everything is pre-drilled. The amplifier is going to go there. The receiver kind of goes through here. So this is the fuse panel that I'm going to use. It's the same one. It's a Blue Sea System 6-circuit. It's got all stainless hardware and stainless bus bars built into it. It's got a cool little latch that comes open. It's got a place for 2 spare fuses. So this will be wired to the main battery, and then everything else will be wired to it. Just going to be running aerator, bilge. We'll be running the depth finder off of it, and then the stereo. So that guy just clips right on. You can put little labels on each one of these circuits, tell you what they are. So this will be mounted in that way. I've already got some holes for clamps like that. It's pretty long in case you were actually running it in a large boat, but this will be pulled up right here and held in place by that P-clamp. So I'm gonna run these Polk Audio DB651. They're marine certified. That gives you an idea of the size of this amplifier. That guy is little, but I tell you what, it gets loud. So what I'm doing now is putting some of the remnant carpet strips on the bottom of the rear floor. What I found was that even after sanding a little bit to try to take some of the gloss off, this high gloss is, it's kind of sticky. It has like a little bit of grip to it, almost not rubbery, but it's super smooth finish. That didn't really combine well with the way that this foam is. And so you can actually hear that noise that I'm getting just by doing that. So imagine the entire floor sheet making that noise. It was making a lot of squeaking and kind of sound like a squeaky floor at an old house. I tested it out through a couple strips of carpet up under there, and that really quieted it down. So to give you an idea of what I was talking about, left one is the one that I put carpet on the back, and this one is in direct contact with the foam beneath it. It's quiet. You can hear the creaking, the pieces up there on the front deck, as the whole thing shifts around a little bit, but that's just because it's not tied down. I did consider that once you screw these down, that it should squeeze the plywood down on top of the foam and quiet it down, but I was concerned that it would still have a little bit of movement from the hull flexing and shaking, and it would probably drive me insane. The last thing I want is the boat squeaking while you're trying to move around and sneak up on fish, so I'll try to make it as quiet as possible. So to give you an idea, there's where you can see it's pretty quiet, and then you get over on this one, and that's what I'm talking about. It sounds like rubbing 2 balloons together or something, so definitely had to take care of that. So here is the bottom side of the rear floor deck with a bunch of scrap pieces glued to the bottom of it. That's our sound deadener between the bottom of this deck and all of the foam board that's in the bottom here. Here's the final result. So you might be able to hear a little bit of sound from the carpet squishing under there. but that's it. No more squeaking. Nice quiet floor. One other thing that I done is redo the trailer. So the bunks were in pretty sad shape. The side bunk supports were all rusted out, as were the square U-bolts that hold everything to the frame. The lights are also pretty trash, so I got a new set of those Blazer LEDs. They've got a full LED center and an LED side. So here is the front deck panel. Just giving you a quick peek at that. Got all the carpet put on it today. Got the speakers put into it. There's a switch panel. I only got one switch in it right now. It's just for the amplifier. And then there's those Pulp 6.5s. Everything's in there looking pretty good. Looks pretty decent. And here's how the backside of it goes. The controller for the amplifier passes through. I'm running this amp in the bridge mode, so 2-channel, I think 90 watts RMS. There's that Blue Sea Systems fuse panel. Okay, so quick update. I've got all of the rear floors carpeted. Found a tip somewhere from somebody, I don't know who it was, but they basically said use a soldering iron and find the hole and just burn the hole out. For holes that you won't see, such as ones that'll be underneath the seat pedestal mount, it's perfect. All the decking is done, all the hinges are in place, all the pulls are there. I'll flip the main part of the front deck frame over, find the holes, probably use like some colored thumbtacks or something to mark them on the top side and lay it back down and get it squared up, and then shoot the self-tapping screws. Today, what I got done was the trolling motor mount, and cleaned up the trolling motor a little bit too, but it's up underneath the boat so you can't see it. But got these cut down, painted, it's gonna turn out pretty good. And then the trolling motor tray, got it sanded and painted. I think it's a Rust-Oleum paint. Rust-Oleum gloss deep slate. So that's the same stuff that I put on the switch panel. I think it's a pretty good color, and I hope it stands up. It's supposed to be tough. So I have the mount holes drilled for the pedal. It's just 3 of them. Got some number 8 machine screws that'll pass through and bolt it in. I've got an elongated oval hole to pass through the plug for the trolling motor, and a grommet that'll go in there. And then I got a drain built in back there. Kind of like that color, man. I think looks pretty good. But that's where the boat is right now. I have paint on order. I have that black hose back there that I'm gonna replace this old dried up gray stuff so I can run wires down the left and right side. I'll run one wire to the aerator, and then this one will go back to the bilge pump and to the rear nav light. So that's it.